crayons in a few places and there's exposed bubbles. It ended up kind of being a mess. So rather than try to salvage this piece, I actually went ahead and created a second piece. This time I'm carving quite a bit deeper into the wood, which will leave me a deeper pocket to put those crayons into, and then hopefully I can avoid the mess from before. So then we just need to get the profile cut out again and then go from there. Certainly didn't have to show the mistake piece, but I definitely think it's important that everyone knows that mistakes happen to everybody. And it's important to get back up on the horse and try again, and that's definitely what's happening here. Mistakes are really only a bad thing if you don't learn anything from them. If you learn something from it, then the whole experience is absolutely worth it, and this is absolutely no exception. It's time to start melting the crayons into the pocket. So it's a couple different things going on here. I used a deeper pocket and then oriented the crayons a little bit differently. They were getting a bunch of bubbles underneath them because it wasn't melting fully to the bottom.
Wow, look at this insane lamp that looks like a nuclear explosion. Where can I buy one? This obstacle course sits high in the sky and honestly looks pretty scary. Luckily, you're kept safe by being connected to a bungee cord. I still would never try this, would you? Watch what this driver saw when a meteor lit up the entire night sky. It's an amazing view. It looks like night became day for about 3 seconds. Look at how this tin boat floats in an aquarium with an invisible liquid. It's almost impossible to see, but look at what happens when you pour some on top of the boat. Weird. This is a tumbleweed tornado that happened in Washington. It's pretty mesmerizing to watch. I just wouldn't want to be there in person. For some reason, this cat loves to sit on a camera that's high in the sky. Cats have amazing balance skills, letting them do things like this without being super afraid of falling down. This iceberg avalanche created a giant pillar of ice in the ocean, one that quickly broke back up and fell back into the water. Nature can be pretty cool sometimes.
Boing, bing, boing, boing. Bing, 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 bing. Boing, bing, boing, boing. Bing, 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 bing.
I shoved my hand into a deep dark hole and found my friend Maria. She was infected by an invasive blood-sucking parasite known as Orthione griffinus. I removed the parasite and yeeted it to my friend Franklin the sea chicken, and be sure to follow if you love ocean animals.
I've wanted to make my daughter an art table and chairs for a long time, so it's time to finally do that. Getting a piece of 3/4 inch Baltic birch, put up on the CNC, and getting everything zeroed off. My wife hand-lettered the word create, so that's what we're carving in here. I brought it into the software and made it a vector so that way we could get it carved. If you remember the crayon sign that we did, that was just a test piece for this one. I wanted to make sure everything would turn out all right, and it definitely helped out a lot learning on that piece. So we went through, created the initial pocket, and then we're just cleaning everything up in the larger areas This is the 46202-K 1/4-inch downcut bit. It does a really great job with this. Taking a second step down to make a 1/4-inch deep pocket to set the crayons into. Then we can get it taken off the CNC and over to the router table. I made a quick jig to round over the corners here. Don't want any cracked heads on the corners of the table, so this will soften everything up and make it a little bit nicer to the touch. So we got that all done using a flush trim bit. It copies the radius of the jig, creating a nice smooth cut.
So far this weekend, and it's only Saturday morning. Today I had to make a few batches of strawberry ice cream. I actually barely had a chance to even capture this on film. I wanted to record a more exciting flavor, but strawberry is what we got today. We need to write on our parchment paper, and then we're going to tuck in our ice creams. Because you guys know they got to go take their nap in the blast. It's been so hot outside, honestly I could go take a nap in the -20 blast. Now it's time for our next batch. We're going to pour in our flavoring, and now we're going to pour in our sweet cream. And then once we pour all that in, we're going to take our bladder, we're going to squeeze the rest out, put it on the table to scrape the rest out. Once we get all that in there, it's time to start up the machine and make our next batch. Then it's time to extract it.
Everyone's been saying I should eat a bubble, so I'm gonna try do it. Oh. So here's my awesome bubble, and I'm gonna try eat it over here. Eat it. It's not that great, gonna be honest. You're an apprehension doing this. Oh gee. I was gonna try and make a bubble for everyone, but it's not gonna happen, honestly. Really? Oh,
So hot, Annabelle? Look at that! Don't grab it so hard.